Peace and blessings. This is Lisa Marie. Welcome my higher elevation channel. I changed the name forward. It's the old name, but it has a new energy. Okay, energy. So we over here. We having a beautiful morning. Y'all, I've been doing my yoga a little bit differently. I've been doing it more mindfully, and so I feel like I get more results from it. And yes, definitely physical results, but mental and spiritual as well. I'm more calmer. I'm more able to tap into my emotions. Um, and I mean like stuff that is held in. Like I'm gonna do a video, maybe on this channel, showing the specific yoga asanas or postures, womb yoga that I do, the specific ones. And when I do it, the intention, and I slow it down, and I do the breath work with it at the same time, oh my God, a cry comes out of me like it's out of somebody else. And it's a deep cry. Because a lot of times our emotions, I'm going to say all the time, especially as women, men too though, but a lot of times men might normally lift weights or work out, so they get some kind of, maybe they're in sports, so you're kind of getting that out a bit. But a lot of times women, even though today we have so many women fitness instructors and women in fitness, a lot of us regular, everyday people on the other side of the screen, we don't always allow for or do enough of the exercise where we're getting that out. Another thing too, we gotta be very careful with our body has muscle memory, but our body has memory, period. So a lot of times we're not intentional, we're not aware, we're not in the moment. So we're not connecting the body, the mind, and the spirit. And a lot of times when you don't do that, you don't get to the core of things. You don't get to the essence of things. When you connect at the same time, especially when you're doing a task, there's power in that being able to connect and align the mental, physical, and spiritual as one, but also in a way separately. But together. So put it this way. So your mind is focused on what you are doing. So let's say you're doing a posture, an asana, and your mind is focused, right? You're not focused on the laundry list of things to do. You're not even focused on the noise that you're hearing outside. You actually don't hear any of that. Your mind knows that I am doing this snake serpent exercise, right? Your mind, you're so there with the thing that's your mind. The physical is there because the physical is slowing it down, right? And you can look at the spiritual as, and the breath work is in sync with the in and out. Breath work up and down of the actual exercise or the move. So when you do that, it's as above, so below, as within, so without. So you're not just healing something that you didn't know was there. You're actually having more clarity about the things that are in your physical reality now. So you're not just healing stuff from the past, you're actually healing stuff from right now because you're using all of your senses to gauge it. Listen, ladies, I had a client not too long ago, and she was in a relationship, and she had a hard time getting over it. She knew I would understand, crying every night, feeling like there's no one else in the world, can't stop thinking about the person. And you know what I told her? I said, sister, women oftentimes don't cry over good men being lost or gone, unless they died. Most of the time when a woman is crying over in this case, a man, it's because he actually wasn't even good. Because if he was a good person, a good man, you would still have him in your life. Women don't fumble as much as maybe men do. Now, men actually will cry over a good woman being lost. They messed up. But when you're crying and it's for that long, you have to take a moment, align the physical, the mental, and the spiritual, and recognize that you're crying over a no good man. You're crying over a man that didn't see you, didn't like you, because he didn't like himself. So never take that didn't like you too personally. Didn't see you, didn't care about you, has some issues, no matter who they're with, those issues will follow them, even if it's just the issues will follow them internally. Even if they try to stop the physical behavior, the internal thought of wanting to react. In other words, they got to do the work. Do you know that most women, when a relationship is ended, they're crying over someone who treated them like shit? You're not ever really crying over a good man leaving unless he died. If he didn't die, because you cry with that, like I got my good man died, oh my God, my man was so good, he took care of the whole family, he died. We get that. But most women are crying over a no good man. Because if he was good, you would not be crying. If he was great and treated you right, you would not be crying. He'd be right by your side. You'll be living this doubly wonderful life. You'll be getting on about your business. You're crying over a man that was not great, that was not good, that did not care about you. Because again, he didn't care about himself. I never want to hurt us. I never want to hurt me. I never want to hurt you because some people, oh, he don't like you. These gurus out here, like I love y'all, but he don't like you. He don't like you. He don't need you. Okay, why doesn't he? Because he don't like himself. He don't want himself. He don't want to be with himself. That's why he's always in and out of relationships. And on that note, there's other fish in the sea. I'm going to make sure, let me cut this off. Grand Rise, okay, I'm the Tiger, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Oh yeah, you remind me of something too. Thank you for being here today. There are other fish in the sea. There are other fish in the sea. Do you know what that means? That means that there are so many men that you could be crying over since you attracted and maybe you are liking or think you're in love with a no good man. There's a bunch of other no good men that you could cry over. Or there's a bunch of amazing men that you wouldn't be crying because a good man ain't gonna make you cry. A good man is not going to have you crying unless it's of laughter from the joy of this wonderful life. A good man is not gonna have you crying. Think about it when you was in your worst, you was going, you was crying, you was hurt. Was he a good man when you really, when the smoke cleared? Was he even worth any of those tears? I'm telling you, I want you to watch. When a woman cries over a man, if she's crying over a man, basically, either while she was in a relationship with the man or the breakup of the relationship, he was a bad man. Women don't cry over good men because good men don't make women cry. I need y'all to hear this. So, since you waste your time crying over that no good man, there are other fish in the sea. That no good man knows that there are other fish in the sea for you. He's hoping that you will never figure out how amazing and wonderful you are and that he wasn't. You know, I want to go into this even deeper. I was thinking about this idea, and that's why I said I'm tired. Thank you for being here. I was thinking about this idea of twin flames, soulmates, and all these things that indicate like you're going to always think about the person. You're bound together. In some cases, some people say you should wait for them to return. You should wait for them to come back. I love the esoterics, if that's even the esoterics. I love the spiritual. I love the tarot. I love the astrology. But you are not here to wait for anyone from a past lifetime. You are not here because that lifetime was lived. If you meet him again this lifetime, it was like you went out and you saw an old friend or someone you haven't seen in years at the zoo. And now you don't remember them again when you went home. You went home and cooked dinner and life moved on. You are supposed to have beautiful relationships, whether they're work relationships, whether they're intimate relationships, whether they're platonic relationships. You're supposed to have love and joy and happiness. And it always going to come after you decide and figure out who you are and you decide and figure out how to do the work so that you can discover the best parts of you. I don't know if you noticed, but there is twins within inside of you. Some people might call it the dark and the light, right? Some people, let's go deep in the good and the bad. Mine is not actually like that. Mine is the this or the that. It's the higher or the lower sides that actually want to be integrated. So I'm going to say there's the dark and the light. I'm going to use the dark as the, not so much the dark night of the soul, but the shadow work. And I'm going to use the light as the light of a higher elevation, consciousness, realization, revelation, right? One that can see and one that's still walking in the dark. But at least they're walking, and they're walking towards the light. Those are your twin. When you're connected to outside, externally, to a person who is all dark and just trash and not good, they lie and steal, they do you wrong, they hurt you, they put your life in jeopardy. That is the dark side on the inside not being integrated. And also the dark side on the inside of you that actually is distorted. Dark is not supposed to mean negative. It's supposed to mean what's in the shadow, what's hidden, what's unseen. That's really the esoteric, the spiritual part of yourself. Let me go back and say it again. Dark does not represent negative, but because you have not integrated the dark and the light within yourself, which means that you show up that as a distortion, because you want to hide, you want to be in fantasy, you want to be in fairy tale about what is reality instead of understanding and remembering that you create your reality. So you're accepting the darkness of the world, of the stuff that has already been manifest by others, and you look at that as something either you want or you don't want. Usually you look at that as something you don't want, but it's still in your psyche. The moment you realize and go into your own darkness, which is what is hidden, sometimes what is protected, it's your real love. It's what you're not saying. It's what you're not doing. It's what you're afraid of. Afraid of meaning your greater self. Darkness holds your greater self. Light reflects it. Darkness holds, I know, your greater self. The light reflects it. So the darkness is where your self is created. You know, you were created in your mother's dark womb, right? So darkness is where creation happens. It is the death that has already occurred. It is the empty space. It is the void, the abyss, the black hole. And it is where you actually lie. It is the place where nothing exists so that everything can exist. And you are the everything. And then so therefore you create even more everything. Once you understand that and you integrate that with it, well, the light side exists. The light side is the one that opens up the arms. That's ready for the dark to dissect, to contemplate, to rebuild, to create, and then hands over the creation to the light, and the light brings it forth into the external worlds. But a lot of us are operating from another place. We're forcing ourselves to be light-filled when actually our dark side is not satisfied. Our dark side has not created anything new. Our dark side has not even died to be born again, or is stuck in such a perpetual death state that it cannot do more than that. So the cycle continues, and that cycle manifests in your external life. Because the dark side will have its say, but without your control. You are the one that tames the beast. You are the one that creates your own life and your own reality. So once you integrate that darkness and that lightness, the darkness being the creator, where the creation begins, where the creation manifests, where the creation, it's the workshop of everything you ever wanted. It's where you do the work. It's where you do the work. It is the workshop. But because you didn't do it on the inside, you said, I'll do it on the outside. And that's your prerogative. So you do it on the outside. So you meet the darkness. But because it's not inside of you, the darkness is outside of you, and it was not cultivated, it is distorted. It is negative. It is lustful. It is deceitful. It is broken. It is not developed. It is immature. Do you get how that kind of works? So you have to be the one to do the darker work in order for you to see the lighter results of the darker work. You'll never meet the darkness outside distorted. if you integrate the darkness with your lightness, and it will not be distorted. Because you really have a choice. The darkness itself is just darkness. It's actually space, right? It's not even as much as it's time, because it's timeless in the darkness. Everything in darkness happens now. Everything in darkness is created now. So darkness is timeless. So but it still waits, because it has all of eternity. You'll never ever meet darkness outside again unless you deal with the darkness within. And the dealing, again, I want to make sure I'm making myself clear, is a point of creation. So let's do like a little exercise right now. Let's all of us actually say, I am willing to go into the darkness of myself. But when you say it, it's not nothing to be afraid of. It's not a bad place to be. It's actually your workshop of creating the most incredible self, your incredible life, and incredible things. Choose one thing that you would like to manifest in your life, that you would like to create, that you would like to see forth. And I want you to think of it. It could be the smallest thing. It doesn't have to be rocket science, change the world, end world hunger. No, it could just be like, I want to see more money. Let's start there, everybody. That's a nice one. And really see, and think about, where would you like the money to be received? Is it in your bank account? You want to see more money in your bank account, your CashApp, your Zelle, your PayPal? Well, watch the money being produced, stacks of it. Money on top of money, money in every area of your life, money under the bed mattress, money in the cookie jar, money in the bosom, money everywhere. Okay, now you've created it, right? It's there, it's living large, it feels so good because it wanted to come forth. It was just an empty space. Now the space is filled with what you wanted. Now what you got to do in your external, the light side, is the world, the external world is the light. It's the reveal. It's where it all happens. It's where we say, here it is. It's the physical. How about that? And the darkness is the spiritual. So you allow it to now hold it. You see yourself holding it in your hands. Where are you going to circulate that money? What are you going to do? You're going to, every single thing you do. So if you want to put a man in that dark space, the one that is more reflective of you, so make sure you know who you are. Now, I just really gave you an advanced place because I was just told by Spirit that I really shouldn't give you that one yet, the manifestation tools, because the dark space is actually too is also for you to see where you don't think you're good enough, where you don't think you deserve anything good, or at least in a relationship. The dark place is for you to also allow the darkness. This is the real. Now we're getting even higher. The dark place is for you to say, there's nothing bad in this dark. There's nothing to be afraid of. As a matter of fact, I need to use that darkness more. I need to say no when I know it's not right. I need to let go when I know it's over. I need to never let it even enter into my cipher when I know I don't connect to it. You have to say the no. The dark side is no and hell no. No, you can't come back. No, I won't go on a date with you. No, I don't love you. No, I don't even like you. And say it real. You know why introverts have the hardest time with this? Is because introverts really always usually want to say no. Like somebody says, hey, I'm so glad I ran into you. This Thursday, I'll say Saturday. This Saturday, we're having this party for Mr. Johnson, and we just thought that maybe you want to come. So you think you can make it this Saturday? The introvert really wants to say hell to the non to the non. But no, we're not gonna say, sure, okay. Well, you know what, yes. What day did you say? But we really ain't coming. We ain't coming and we ain't going. The dark side is the one that ain't coming. The dark side is the one that says no. The light side, the worldly side, which is the one that thinks that they need to say yes because it's going to hurt someone's feelings. When you're introverted, dark side, knows how to live from the dark side and just say no, you're going to eliminate a lot of bad fish that stink. You're not even going to pull them out the water, the sick ones that ate plastic. That's why they jacked up and you just ate them. You're not going to do that anymore. You're going to know how to say no. You're going to know how to realize that you don't even really like this person. You're not even attracted to them. They don't really have anything that really turns you on. You're smarter than them. And you like to be inside. You love to be with your darkness because you know you can create anything you want. And when you walk out the door, it'll be laying there for you. The money, the opportunities. There's more fish in the sea. There's some great fish in the sea. I'm talking about expensive and exquisite, melt in your mouth fish in the sea. Fish that actually don't make you sick after you eat it. Fish that don't carry E. coli. Fish that don't carry any diseases. Fish that actually, when you eat it, it has that plankton in it that builds your bones nice and strong. There's so much fish in the sea, and there's some good ones. You want to stop going for the bottom feeders and really go for the exquisite. So this is a message to you today that there are plenty of fish in the sea. And again, the reminder that if you are crying over someone that is not good for you, notice that they're not good for you. You'll never cry over a good man because a good man would not make you cry. I want you to remember that and make yourself feel good. And tomorrow we'll get deeper into the other side of manifestation and the dark side. But we got to learn how to use the dark side because it's a part of us. The not saying no because we don't want to hurt people's feelings, and not saying no because we were taught to be polite is getting us in trouble. Half the stuff you was in, you would have never been in if you knew how to say no, or you knew it was okay to say no. Stop being afraid of the dark. Beautiful things happen in the dark. You know how I know? You happened in the dark of your mother's womb. So allow yourself to give birth to yourself. And I'll see you in the next one. The Tiger says, yes, indeed, authenticity is the whole package, dark and light. Yes, abundance. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, the Tiger, for being here. Y'all that's watching the replay, I thank you for the views on the other one. And also, I need some comments. So emojis, comments, likes, conversation, what hit you, what was a revelation, what stood out to you. Any of those things would be helpful. I love you with all my heart, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and blessings.